And this is The Last Down. It is 11:15 in the morning.
I'm
Hope
Justin
your-
McCarthy.
I'm Andrew Goldberg. Hope your Friday is going very well.
Finals are next week.
Oh, yes. We had a...
Here's my tip for that, actually, for finals. Don't stress about it. Like, literally,
Yeah.
because my interpretation of it is that even if you do bad, like, of course, if you have a D, then then you kind of do have to stress. But, like, if you have a B or something, try to relax. You've already passed the course. Like, there's no point to stressing,
Yeah.
at least in my opinion.
We took a short hiatus because it was Thanksgiving break. Hope your Thanksgiving break was well. This is our last show for the NFL season. We look forward to actually coming back for the playoffs.
Most likely we would be back. Most likely we would be back. But in case we're not, we're going to give you our playoff predictions. So, there's a 70% chance that this is not our last show. But in case it is, we're going to treat it like our last show in case we don't come back. We'll probably come back. We'll probably air it throughout the rest of the year. But in case we don't, we're
grateful for this show, and we really enjoyed it a lot.
It was fun.
Yes. Moving forward to kick off the show, let's talk about...
Plus, it was an easy 100 points for each lap, so...
Yes. Moving forward to kick off the show, how about last night's game against the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears?
But, again, the Cowboys lost. Not surprising. How many games have they lost in a row?
3. I think it was 3, if I'm correct.
3?
That's what I've been told, and that's what I've... Let's see here. Doesn't tell me the... 3-game losing streak, yes.
So they've lost 3 games.
Yep. And they are still 0-5 against teams above 500.
Not good.
Yep. And last night I saw on social media that, I told you before the show, that Stephen A. Smith was very happy to see the Cowboys still on their 3-game losing streak and already predicting that they will miss the playoffs, probably going either 6-10
Actually,
or
hold on. This show today is going to focus on 2 teams particularly, the Cowboys and the Eagles. The Cowboys and the Eagles play in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Week 16.
Yep.
Actually, they play next week, right? They play next week. No, they play in 2 weeks. Yeah, they play in 2 weeks. Sorry. I apologize. I missed that. Okay. Regardless of that, they play in 2 weeks. And it's in Philadelphia.
Yep.
That's a playoff game. That game's going to determine what team lives a little longer. Because honestly, here's my opinion. I think whoever wins the NFC is going to get knocked out first round of the playoffs. Unless, because in other words, whoever plays the first round in the playoffs for the NFC, they're going to get knocked out in the first round. It's just. So, here's my opinion. The game is being played in Philadelphia. As bad as the Eagles are, I would give the Eagles a little advantage over the Cowboys because, one, they're playing outside in the cold. Dallas is a dome team. And you saw how they did against Foxborough in the weather 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the score was 13-9, but they couldn't pass the ball. And Jason Garrett said in his post-game conference that they didn't know it was going to rain, and they practiced in a dome all week. And I was like, so you did not know it was going to rain when you had the Weather Channel telling you it was going to rain for a week.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones got kind of upset that Jason Garrett ignored the Weather Channel and didn't listen about the forecast. I mean, I didn't see them winning that game. I don't know about you, but I definitely didn't see them winning against New England. But they have a lot of problems, and I don't think they're going to beat Philadelphia. I think Dallas is going to lose. They're not going to make the playoffs.
I totally... Excuse me. I agree with you. As of now, I'm looking at the playoff picture. It says the Cowboys will, sadly, play the 49ers in the wild card round.
They're not going to... Yeah, that's right now.
Yeah.
That's like the ESPN playoff machine thing.
Yep.
Right?
Nope, this is on NFL.com.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, again, I don't see Dallas.
But somebody has to win that division, and right now I think it will be the Eagles, but they got an interesting schedule for
Yeah,
the rest of the year.
The Eagles are bad too. What's their record right now, actually?
They are 5-7.
What's Dallas?
Dallas is 6-7.
Who they play next week?
Next week they play
The Rams?
they play
at
the
home.
Rams, and they're also 7-5. The Rams, and
That's a must-win game for the Rams. I think the Rams are going to beat them.
and also, like I said, the Cowboys are 0-5 against above 500 teams this year.
Mhm.
So this is a make or break for the Cowboys.
Yeah. I completely
Yeah.
agree with you. Completely. I don't see them getting far. Like, I don't see them getting far at all. I mean, do you?
The Cowboys or the Eagles?
The Cowboys.
No, not at all.
I mean, like, if you think about it, like, just how far could Dallas get? Possibly.
That depends on who they play and who they beat.
Yeah, it completely does.
Honestly, let me see here. In the remainder of their schedule for the Dallas Cowboys, they are playing. Where's their schedule? Here's their schedule. They play the Rams, the Eagles, and Washington.
And Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their last 3 games are all on the road. Or am I wrong about that? Nope, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. 2 games are at home, 1's on the road.
What do you think, personally?
I think they'll lose against the Rams. They'll probably lose to the Eagles. And they'll beat Washington easily. Because Washington has been quite inconsistent this year. So that's 2 losses. That's 6-9. They'll finish 7-9 out of the playoffs.
And the Eagles will be
Either 8-8 or also 7-9.
Jesus.
This is probably
It's honestly, yeah. I mean, it's not the first time a losing record team has made the playoffs, but it's not good for the NFL. I mean,
it's not good
a
for
team who's going to be like 10-6 or 9-7 is going to miss out.
It's
And for these two clowns, one of these clowns are going to make the playoffs. In response, a team that goes 9-7, who had an above average season, is going to be sitting out, and they're probably going to be like throwing their arms up, saying, "This is not fair."
okay, but it's
We should be in the playoffs, not the Eagles or the Cowboys.
But it's also not good for the NFC East because that division is always inconsistent.
Yeah, this is why. Yeah, again, this is not.
Yeah.
And even if the Eagles and the Cowboys make the playoffs, let's just say it, they're both going to get knocked out in the first round.
Yeah.
Unless by miracle the Eagles or the Cowboys play the Bears in like Dallas or Philadelphia. That's the only way I see them making it to the divisional round because I don't see another team beating. I see the 49ers going into Philadelphia. Beating the Eagles. I see the 49ers going into Dallas and beating the Cowboys. Who else? What are the other wildcard teams that could go in there? Minnesota?
Yep.
Definitely believe Minnesota can go into both places and win. Who else?
There's
Bottom line. I really believe that whoever
there's the Steelers, the Texans, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Packers, the Niners, and the Cowboys right now in the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
But in NFC, it's the Vikings, the Packers, and the Niners.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see them going far.
Yeah. The remainder of the Eagles' season schedule is the Giants, the Redskins, the Cowboys, and the Giants one more time.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Yeah. And they're 5-7. I can't really predict how they'll finish because they have 2 games against the Giants. I don't want to say that they'll finish 7-9 just because I'm a Giants fan. I think they'll split the series against the Giants unless if they sweep them.
Yeah, I think. So let's see who are the Eagles playing next week. I'm sorry.
The Eagles are playing. No, it's actually this week. They're playing the Giants on Monday Night Football.
Okay, so they play the Giants on Monday Night Football. Where's the game?
In Philly.
They beat the Giants last time, or did they lose?
Last time.
Or are they playing them week 17?
Let me see ESPN. Let me see what happened last time.
Mm-hmm.
The last time this happened.
The last time this happened was.
I think the Eagles beat the Giants. I don't know. It's not showing me.
I don't see them getting far.
I know it's a 9-point spread for the Giants, which is actually shocking. Well, actually, no, it's for the Eagles. It's a 9-point spread for the Eagles. I'm sorry. But on a further note, the Cowboys won't make it.
I don't think they will make it either. I don't think they would make it either because, well, one thing is, it's
the Cowboys.
They're known for screwing up. And if they even do make it, I just don't see them going far.
They won't.
I mean, I would watch. Honestly, there's only one. I don't want. Okay, I'm going to be a little hypocritical here. Mm-hmm. There's one game a year I love to watch with the Cowboys. And usually there were 3 times in 3 years that I marked it in my schedule. It was called the Week 17 Tony Romo meltdown game. Remember what I'm talking about? 2011, 2012, 2013.
I think I know what you're talking about.
There was when the playoffs. It comes. Sometimes it happens in the NFL where you have a Week 17 scenario where you have a play-in game for a division. The NFL designed it this way because they call it like the first playoff game, and it happened 3 times. Cowboys versus. It happened in 2009 too and 2008. So 2008. Tony Romo is elimination game week 17 against the Eagles. They lose. 2009, it's the elimination game against the Eagles. They lose again in week 17. 2011, it's elimination game against the Giants. They lose in New York. Week 17. 2012, they play RG3 in Washington. They lose again. Week 17. And then, of course, in 2013, they lost to the Eagles in 2013 in Jerry World, which was the first time they were home week 17 in 4 years, and they lose again. And then, at this game, and they haven't had an elimination game since then, actually, believe it or not. Mainly because the NFC because they've been a little more than average. Mm-hmm. In 2014 and 2015, they were bad because Tony Romo got hurt. 2016, they were the number 1 seed. 2017, well, they were able to win it. They were able to win the NFC East and 2016 they won their first elimination game against the Eagles. 2017, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then 2017 they missed the playoffs. Forgive me. 2018 they
made it.
2018 they didn't really have an elimination game, but they barely made it. This year looks like it's going to be another elimination game, and they're probably gonna play the Eagles for the division, and it's in Philadelphia. I don't see. You have a coach who doesn't prepare for weather, and this is the reason why the Cowboys always do bad in December, because they're a dome team. Sean Payton, to be fair, I don't want to use this as an excuse because there are other teams too that are dome teams like the Saints. But here's the difference between Sean Payton and Jason Garrett. Sean Payton literally tells his players all the time, we're practicing in the cold. If it's going to be 10 degrees outside, he'll they make their field, they can turn the thermometer to 0 degrees. Mm-hmm. It would cost a lot of money, but they do it because they want to simulate what it feels like. Or if they have to travel somewhere like New York, they'll go a week in advance so they get accumulated with the weather. That's what they do. They plan ahead for it so it doesn't become an issue. Rain. They practice the rain outside in New Orleans. You can't practice in cold rain, but you can practice in wet and rain because rain is rain nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
The temperature of the ball does not change. It's just rain, wetness matters. And bottom line, Jason Garrett has proven time and time again to be the worst coach when it comes to situational football in the NFL. Proof against the Patriots, and that the Patriots game was proof of that.
See,
they had the better players, they had the more talent, yet the Patriots had the better coaches, and that was why the Patriots beat them.
See, here's my thing. There's a lot of news stirring around saying that Jason Garrett is going to be the new Giants head coach, and they're going to fire Pat Shurmur. I honestly don't care for Pat Shurmur. I know people are saying he's awful, he's terrible, he can't coach. He was with the Minnesota Vikings, and I thought he was fine. And he's here with the Giants, getting the experience, knowing what it's like to be the head coach. He's here for, 2 years now or so?
Most likely.
Yeah. I think he's fine. He's gained the experience for 2 years now. I know people are saying, 2 years is plenty of time to know how to coach now. So, most likely, what was he, a defensive coordinator or something?
Yeah.
That's a big adjustment from defensive coordinator to head coach.
Yeah.
I think that's... Give him some time, I think. I know, maybe next year will be fine, but getting a ginger to be your head coach in New York...
Wasn't Ben McAdoo a ginger?
No, he wasn't.
I thought. Are you sure?
I'm sure he more looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy if he added 50 more pounds.
Are you sure Ben McAdoo was not a ginger? Because I'm 100% he was.
I'm pretty sure.
Why are we even talking about this?
Because it adds on to this conversation.
Yes, he is. Look.
What, seriously? Oh yeah, he is.
So
but
that's not all right. So
but
Andrew's point is invalid, saying that these type of coaches cannot go to the playoffs because Ben McAdoo did and Jason Garrett has done, and he's actually won 2 playoff games. So that argument does not work.
My point being that Jason Garrett won't be a good fit in New York because apparently people are saying that Steve Tisch and
I for one would love Jason Garrett going to New York because I would love to see the New York fans just cringe every time the game is close at the end of the game and Daniel Jones has the ball and it's 3rd down and 10 and he decides, okay, we're going to run it with Saquon Barkley, and he gets stuffed for 2 yards. And then the fans start booing, and then the other team starts to clap at the Giants.
Okay.
They start to clap happily when Jason Garrett, when they go 3 and out, letting the other team go win it.
Okay.
And then he calls a timeout, stopping as after they score a touchdown to cause even more chaos, and the other teams. So I, for one, as a fan of the Patriots, I hope he goes there. I really do.
Okay, this is what I think. If he goes there, I'm not saying it's gonna be a travesty. I'm going to say that you're getting a ginger who looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy dyed his hair or something, and then it won't be good because basically I'm going to be happy if he actually leads the Giants to the playoffs. But
even if he leads the Giants to the playoffs, you guys are going to go 1 and done.
Okay, yeah.
You need someone. You know who I think you can hire? You should hire Josh McDaniels.
Why exactly?
Why? Because in 2010, look, I know he had a horrible season with Denver as head coach, but he's from the Patriot system, and if you give him a quarterback, I think he could do possibly well. Give him a quarterback. He didn't do well. I mean, he didn't have any talent in Denver, and he went 8-8. Mm-hmm. He made Kyle Orton for over 4,500 yards. That's impressive.
This is what I think.
I honestly believe you guys should hire Josh McDaniels. That's who I think you should target.
If they do go after
Josh McDaniels. Go after Josh McDaniels.
Steve Tisch and John Mara, the owners of the Giants, are playing out for the offseason. They don't even know what they want to do yet. They don't even know if they want to fire Pat Shurmur. But let's say if they do hire Jason Garrett, Great, they hired Jason Garrett. But you're basically be stuck in this loop of going to the playoffs to the divisional or the wild card and possibly not making it to the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl for maybe another 10 years. And the whole goal is for the Giants to
You
make...
guys will make it to the NFC Championship in the next 5 years because at the end of the day, there are three big teams in the NFC, and I can already tell you,
Eagles, Cowboys.
No, there are three big teams in the NFC that I have been for like the last 10 years, for this decade. I'll give you three of them right now. The Packers, that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks, number two, and the third one I would make an argument could be what has been the third most consistent team in the NFC in the last, let's see, 2010. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015.
I want to say it would
2016 and 2017. I would say the Saints.
The Saints, yeah.
I would say the Saints.
Yeah.
Because they made the playoffs in 2011. They made the playoffs in 2013. They had a two-year chaotic period with Bounty Gate and after that. But they've gone back on track. So I would say there are three teams there.
Mm-hmm.
I can already tell you but here's the good news about this. Russell Wilson is going to be 30 next year, I believe. So the Seahawks are going to be there for another 10 years. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is now 36. I say four more years, give or take. Drew Brees, he's 40. I say 1 to 2 more years. If we're going to use this math, the Saints will be the first one to get out of the picture because Drew Brees will be the oldest. When Brees goes, the Saints are going to go back to... No, they're going to go back to New Orleans and just be the Saints from the past. Packers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Unless they can get a successor plan like they did with Aaron Rodgers to Brett Favre, I think Green Bay is going to become they're not going to become like Chicago, the laughing stock in the league, but they'll be like the Packers when Aaron Rodgers was hurt in like 2013 and 2015. Like they'll upset some opponents. They'll be respectable enough to get like Sunday night games, but no one will really care. Unless they make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks. The Seahawks will be good until Russell Wilson's like 40.
Or whenever he retires.
Or whenever he retires. That's just he's a game changer. If you look at that picture, 3 years from now, both the Packers and the Saints will be back to their will stop their reign of terror. Actually, that's not the word I want to use. They'll be back to normal. They'll go back. They'll
rebuild mode.
They'll be in rebuild mode. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And when that happens, the Seahawks will be probably the best team in position. That's going to allow teams like the Cowboys, the Giants, maybe even like Cowboys, the Giants, the Falcons if they can get things situated. The Falcons. Who else? The Giants.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Dallas because I believe Dallas is cursed. I really believe
the Vikings.
Honestly, I believe the Dallas Cowboys are going to remain this way until Jerry Jones until Jerry
sells the team or something.
Until Jerry Jones realizes that he's the problem,
which he won't
because he's narcissistic.
Yeah.
Because of this. And then for the AFC, for example, the AFC is a little less more complicated than the NFC because they're not like three teams in control of it. There's only one team, that's New England. But, again, this could be Brady's last season. And if he leaves, unless New England has struck the gold with Jarrett Stidham, who I kind of like because he has a fast release in his pocket and he knows how to read defenses. He can make back shoulder throws and stuff. I mean, if you still have Bill Belichick... And actually, even if the Patriots go back to mediocrity, they still play in the AFC East. You know what I mean? Like, they still play where the Dolphins, Jets, and the Bills are. And I don't believe... The Bills are good this year. I hate admitting that, but I refuse to believe they're going to be good next year. I refuse to believe they're going to be able to keep this up. The Jets, they're a complete dysfunction. They're going to fire Gase. They're going to go in rebuild mode again.
They have to.
The Dolphins...
They're
Dolphins.
They have
Dolphins are not tanking anymore. They're trying to win, but
yeah,
they're going.
Yeah, they have like 4 million picks next year.
Yeah, they have like 4 million picks. I give
which is not a problem. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah,
they have a lot of draft capital, but they better know how to use it.
Yeah,
that's my only thing I'm going to say.
And I think they have a lot of money for the.
I would say the best.
Offseason.
Honestly, I feel like if I were New England, even if Brady leaves after the season, I would say, all right, it's fine. Because we're at the end of the day, they're still in the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably Miami is still Miami.
Yeah.
The Jets are still the chaotic New York Jets, and the Bills, even though they're a winning record this year,
Which is a first since 2017.
2017, and
Yeah.
that year they should not have made the playoffs. I do not see the Buffalo Bills getting a winning record next year. I see New England going 9-7 next year without Brady, switching out the 4th seed. I say basically a 3-year rebuilding time, New England, where they'll be 9-7, they'll be like the 4th seed in the AFC, and they'll get knocked out each year until they get and that will be like. That's rebuilding for New England, because at the end of the day, I don't think people realize that. Even if Brady leaves, they're still going to make playoffs every year. They'll just be knocked out.
It's not a Super Bowl team.
They won't be a playoff
team.
They'll be a division winner team.
Yeah.
They'll become like the Philadelphia. What's the team who's made
the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas. I hate.
There you go.
I hate using that word. Fine. They'll become a very good Dallas Cowboys team, a well-coached Dallas Cowboys team for 3 years when they rebuild that over period. However, once they're done rebuilding, they'll go back to the level they are at now. They'll be like first, second seed, and then they'll probably go on to win a couple more Super Bowls. As long as Stidham works out. If Stidham works out, I see them being fine for the next decade.
These are the divisions that I think are very congested in the AFC right now. It's the AFC North and the AFC South. Because in the AFC North, it's quite tight between the Steelers and the Ravens. And then you have in the AFC South the Texans, the Titans, and the Colts. It's very congested right there.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're completely right about the AFC South, but I think the Houston Texans are in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Are they?
They could clinch anytime soon now.
They can? What's their record?
They're 8-4. 2 more games and they're in, probably.
8-4.
Yeah.
What's the What's I want to see everyone?
Titans?
Indianapolis are 500. Titans are 7-5.
Yeah.
So, when did they play the Texans? Play the Titans week 17 or no?
Let's see here.
Because that's the only way they're not going to clinch. Yep, they play the Titans week 17. So we're looking at 2 elimination games weeks right now.
Yep.
Unless who does Tennessee play?
No, they played them 2 times.
I know, but who does Tennessee? They play Tennessee 2 times. The next, they play Tennessee 2 times.
Yeah.
Wow. I definitely see Tennessee winning one of those in 3 weeks.
Tennessee's remainder games are Oakland, Houston, New Orleans, and Houston again.
What's their record? 7-5.
7-5.
What's Houston's record? 8-4.
Houston's 8-4.
Who does Houston play this week, and who does Tennessee play? Let's just do it like that.
Houston plays Denver.
Where?
At home.
Okay. They'll win that, so they'll be 9-5.
And then
9-4, actually.
Then they play Tennessee.
And then, who does Tennessee play this week?
Tennessee plays Oakland. At Oakland.
Okay, I'm going to give Tennessee the win. 8-5, and so Tennessee would be 8-5, and Tennessee would be 8-5, and
The Texans would play the Broncos. That's a win. That's 9-4. And then they play the Titans again, and then the Buccaneers, and then the Titans.
What do you think? Do you think that's possible?
I think the Texans can.
I feel like the Titans, unless they beat Oakland. Unless the Titans can beat Oakland and beat Houston once before week 17.
Well,
they need to beat them both. Unless they win the next 2 games, I don't see that being an elimination game.
I think
they could.
I think the Texans.
They did beat the Browns week 1, so.
I think the Texans will probably be 10-6, and then the Titans will probably be 9-7, and probably squeeze in that wild card spot. I might be wrong about this, but I don't know.
Okay. Let's take a break. We've been going on. This is probably our longest opening.
For a while.
For probably the longest opening we've ever done. So let's just take a break for like 10, 15 minutes. We'll be back.
This is 96.3 FM on Night Radio, and this is The Last Down. We will be back in a moment. And this is The Last Down. It is 12 o'clock on 96.3 FM Night Radio.
All right, what's our next topic, do you think?
Well, as I just looked it up, I think it should be that Odell Beckham Jr. is vague on his future with the Browns, knowing that it is their worst season.
Yep. Odell has been Odell. Let's just put it that way.
He's been Odell since his love story with the punting net back in New York.
Yeah, that's just...
It's still a love story. Here it says, as the 5-7 Cleveland Browns have all but tumbled out of playoff picture, star wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. was vague about his future with the team beyond the 2019 season. No one knows what the future holds for him like tomorrow, Beckham said when asked after Tuesday's practice whether he wanted to be in Cleveland next year. I couldn't tell you what's going to happen. In the first season with the Browns, Beckham is having the worst statistical year of his career.
How many touchdowns did he have?
I think he has probably less than Jarvis Landry. Probably less than him. Excluding his injury riddled in 2017 with the Giants. Through 12 games, Beckham has 57 catches, 805 receiving yards, and just 2 touchdowns. He also has gone 6 consecutive games without topping 100 receiving yards for the first time in his career. There you go.
I think he needs to leave Cleveland. Cleveland's a disaster.
Although it says here he's also under contract through the 2023 season.
I agree. I just think he needs to leave.
He has to go.
He just needs to get out of
This whole best pals thing with Jarvis Landry was absolutely baloney.
I don't even think he never wanted to be there. He made it clear when they played the Patriots that he did not want to go to Cleveland. And I honestly believe the Giants only traded him there because if they weren't able to trade him to Cleveland, he would have gone to New England. That's just, they probably thought, you know what, we might as well get something from it and let him go to a team that's not going to make the playoffs. Then let him go to the Patriots and literally help them and be like a firework asset.
I mean, the trade didn't really make that much sense. You got Kevin Zeitler, who's doing really nothing, and then you have Jabril Peppers, who is sitting there twiddling his thumbs, also doing nothing.
Yeah.
While Janoris Jenkins is doing all the work on the safety line.
I agree. I think it's a mess right now.
It's a mess for both teams.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, if he were to leave, where do you think he would go?
Well, what is one team that needs help for receivers?
Besides the Patriots?
Besides the Patriots.
Name them. I'm blank right now. I don't know why.
Let me see the teams. Do the Chargers need receivers? I feel like the Redskins would probably need them because they don't have anybody.
No, not really.
No?
I kind of agree with you, honestly, like, about the entire thing with the dysfunction going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't see how they're going to be, like, relevant. Tried. I just don't see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree or no?
No, I completely agree. It's dysfunction on both sides with this trade. It kind of didn't make any sense. I know Odell Beckham Jr. was upset when he got traded. He thought it was the Giants hated him, they didn't like him, but it was more of the matter of a corporation business deal with both sides.
In other words, they weren't able to get something in return, so they decided that
They needed a safety and an offensive lineman.
He was too dramatic. I mean, he's not worse than Antonio Brown. I would rather have Odell Beckham on the Giants than Antonio Brown, wouldn't you?
Yes. Most definitely. But I was a little upset when I heard that Odell was gone, but it was kind of a little ridiculous that they actually traded away one of their franchised players, even though he was a bit of a hothead during the 17 season. But trading him away doesn't really make any sense at this rate in the season, or at this point in the season. But if he were to go somewhere else, I think the best place for him, hypothetically, what if he does go to the Lions? Hypothetically. It would be a great team.
What's the best team you think best place for him? The Lions?
Let's say he does go to the Lions.
I don't think he would like it there either. It's Detroit. Detroit's been a cursed city.
But him teaming with Kenny Galladay is one of the best receivers there.
Still, it's Detroit. Why would you want to go to Detroit? It's like Cleveland.
Okay,
the town's cursed.
All right.
I don't know, like the 49ers?
Well, the Niners, who do they have?
Jimmy Garoppolo. They have a quarterback.
They got a quarterback.
They have a great head coach in Kyle Shanahan.
Who are their receivers?
Emmanuel Sanders.
Okay.
They do have NFL receivers.
Okay.
What do you think?
It would be a wonderful addition for them. I honestly do think. I think he can also help out the Seahawks a little bit.
Yeah, I somewhat agree.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it, what it comes down to is that who fits Odell's personality the most? Let's just come up with 3 teams. Let's play a game. Come up with 3 teams you think that could handle him. I'll give you a name.
Mm-hmm.
Give you 3. The Patriots, that's 1.
Yeah.
The 49ers.
Uh-huh.
And
the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, absolutely not. I have Falcons. And the Atlanta Falcons. And the New Orleans Saints. No, the New Orleans Saints. Those are 3 teams I believe could handle Odell.
Now, why the Atlanta Falcons?
Because they have a lot of wide receivers. I don't think that... No, they don't have cap space. That wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm. Now, I thought of another one, which I honestly think would probably be one of his best fits. The Baltimore Ravens.
I think Baltimore could work. I think they could handle him.
They have Lamar Jackson, who's a nut, and he in a good way. They have Mark Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
They have... I'm starting to blank on all their receivers. Help me out here. I'm forgetting the receivers.
I don't...
But he would be a wonderful addition for that team, and he can probably help them a little more, but not a Super Bowl team just yet.
I think the Ravens could go to the Super Bowl this year. Don't you?
I do too, but I honestly do want to see the teacher versus the student.
And Patriots and the 49ers.
Yeah.
And Brady versus
Garoppolo.
I think that would be very interesting.
That would
be like Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith between Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker.
That would be wonderful, but I don't know. I don't know if that would actually happen.
I don't. What do you think? You don't see that happening?
I don't know because, do you see these 2 teams who were going to go undefeated actually make the Super Bowl? Probably one would
possibly
make it.
I mean, don't you? I see one of them making it, at the very least. What do you think?
I mean, one of them has a defense, the other one doesn't.
One of them has a defense, one of them has an offense, and the other one doesn't. It's literally just, yeah.
I mean, we can't really predict the Super Bowl right now. It's only December 6th, and the Super Bowl is a little less than a month away, or a little less than 2 months away. I'm sorry. So it's a little hard to predict. But going back to that for Odell Beckham Jr., I think that if, let's say, he does get out of his contract, or he does want to get traded, it's the Ravens. That's what I think. Because they do have a quarterback who could be the face of that franchise, and he probably will be. And then they do have some receivers there. And Mark Ingram is one of them, and he can help him out. And they can probably make the Super Bowl.
I kind of agree with you on your points. I just feel like, in my opinion, I just believe that the only things I don't think would work would be that, well, how's the way I would say it? Like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I have my idea. I lost it. So I think since we were on air for 30 minutes, we're gonna take another commercial break. I think, but this one won't be like 15. There'll be like 5 minutes.
We'll take a short break.
Yeah. It's the last day. When we come back, we're gonna go into our predictions.
We're going to our playoff predictor.
Predictions, and we're gonna give them our possible matchups and our AFC division and our division winners.
This is 96.3 FM on Night Radio on the campus of Lynn University. We will be right back with our playoff predictor. And welcome back to The Last Down. It is 12:17 p.m. on Night Radio on the campus of Lynn University. This is 96.3 FM.
All right, so let's do division winners. Ready? Let's start with the AFC. It's the easiest one. Patriots. I say they get the first seed. They go 14-2. I don't see them losing. If they beat the Chiefs, that game's at home. I think they can beat them. I think they go 14-2. They get the first. I think they go 14-2. Now let's just look at the Ravens schedule, because that game we'll pick the AFC North next. So you agree with the Patriots?
For the divisional, you're saying?
Correct.
Yes.
All right. The Ravens play the Bills this week. It's in Buffalo. I think the Bills beat them. Then I think the Ravens finish 13-3. I think they get the second seed.
I think the Ravens will beat the Bills. They'll beat the Jets. They'll beat the Browns.
And they'll beat the Steelers.
Yes.
Okay, so the Ravens. You have the Ravens being the first seed. I have the Ravens being the second.
Yeah, and the Patriots, on the other hand, they'll lose to the Chiefs. They'll beat the Bengals. They'll lose to the Bills, and they'll beat the Dolphins.
That game's at home.
The Bills?
Yeah.
Well, look at the last game.
The Bills are the Bills. I'm sorry, they're not. Their offense is not good. They don't.
No. They have a top 3 defense.
New England has number 1 defense in the league.
I know, but Josh Allen has been going off as of late.
I disagree. Fine, you have the Bills winning that game. So, all right, regardless, he has. Okay, let's just do our playoff predictions. Ready?
Yep.
First seed. Who do you have? I'll ask you. You have who? For the AFC, you have the Ravens.
Yes.
Okay, second seed, who do you have?
The Patriots.
Third
will probably be the Bills.
Bills can't be the third.
Bills cannot be the third.
They can't, because New England's the second. The Bills would be high as the fifth, because they're in the AFC East. Remember?
So then it's probably Ravens, Patriots. Can the Texans be it?
Sure. Texans could be it.
All right. Chiefs, Steelers.
Chiefs
and Steelers.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Am I missing another seed?
No, I think you got them all.
Okay.
You got them all.
All right, what else is there?
What?
Said, what else is there? No, there's 6 seeds, so I missed a seed.
No, I don't think you missed. All right. So,
in the NFC.
Yeah.
It's already laid out right here on NFL.com.
Who do you have?
I have the Niners. Hold on here. Well, all right. The Saints are obviously the number 1 seed.
Second.
Seahawks.
Third.
I'm gonna say the Niners.
Niners, you have the third?
The Niners I have as the 3rd seed. And then the Packers.
Okay.
And then the Vikings.
Okay.
And then, what is this, for the 4th seed now?
Yeah. Who's your 4th?
My 4th will be the Rams. This is a replacement for the Cowboys.
Okay. So those are your 4 seeds, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that all of them?
I think you got them all.
Okay.
All right, I'll give you my predictions.
Okay.
So let's just do the wild card
The
round.
wild card
First round. I think it's taking too much time. So, first round, I have. First round in the NFC, I have the Eagles playing the Bears. I think the Bears get the revenge. I have the Bears being the 5th seed. The Eagles are the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Bears win. 3rd seed, I have. Actually, no, the Bears would be the 6th seed because the 49ers are going to be the 5th. I think the 49ers beat Philadelphia, so I have the 49ers advancing. 3rd seed, I have the Green Bay Packers playing the Chicago Bears. I think the Packers win. Or playing the Vikings. I think the Packers beat the Vikings. So you have the Packers and the 49ers advancing.
Packers and 49ers, yes.
2nd seed, I have the Seahawks. I think the Packers lose to Seattle in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I have Green Bay winning that.
Okay.
I think Green Bay is going to get really hot. 49ers in New Orleans.
That's a very good
That's going to
matchup.
be a good game. Except the refs. That's
Except the refs.
If New Orleans were to lose another postseason game like they did last year in the NFC Championship game, I feel like the riots. I feel like if I were a referee coaching New Orleans game, I would make sure I would be very careful to not screw it up again, because if they do screw it up again, they're not leaving that dome alive. They left the dome alive last time. They will not be no. New Orleans is not forgiving. They'll forgive you once, they'll not forgive you twice.
I mean, that's just a battle of the offenses, I feel like.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on that. It's just, well, I don't know, dude. Like, I honestly believe that game is going to be, like, I really believe that game is going to be very interesting.
So you want to leave that one alone?
I'm going to pick the Saints to win that. So I have the Saints winning.
You don't think...
Saints Packers NFC Championship game.
You don't think the students going to the Super Bowl?
No. Saints Packers NFC Championship game in New Orleans. I think this is we'll wait for pick that game. Now in the AFC.
Okay.
First round, I have the 4th seed will probably be the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I have them playing the Buffalo Bills. I think the Chiefs win that game. 3rd seed will be the Texans. I have the Texans playing the Oakland Raiders. I think the Texans beat the Raiders.
You think the Raiders are going to
I think the Raiders get in, but I think they'll go one and done. Second round, I have the Chiefs playing the Patriots in divisional round. I see New England beating them. Then you have the Ravens playing the Texans. I say the Ravens beat the Texans.
Okay.
And then you have the Patriots-Ravens AFC Championship game in Foxborough. I don't see Lamar Jackson beating New England again in Foxborough, so I have New England winning. So I have New England winning the AFC Championship game.
Okay.
So I have New England going back to the Super Bowl. And now for the NFC, I have Aaron Rodgers going into New Orleans and out-dueling Drew Brees in like a 51-48 showdown.
Okay.
And then Brady versus Rodgers Super Bowl. I think Green Bay wins.
Wow.
They've won. I think Rodgers can be like, you already have 6. You're not taking 7. You can take 7 next year. You're not bidding. You're going to have to wait a year for 7.
Yeah.
So I think I have the Packers winning it all.
Okay.
What's yours?
Who are my teams again? I forgot. I think I kept everything the same in the NFC, except for the Cowboys. I'm just gonna switch the Rams to the Eagles because there should be an East team in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have the Saints being the Packers in the divisional.
All right.
The Packers beat the Vikings in the wild card. The Niners beat the Eagles in the wild card. And then the Niners will beat the Seahawks in the divisional, which that means it'll be the Saints and the Niners in the conference championship.
Okay, who do you have winning that?
Honestly, it's another hard one because both are great quarterbacks. One is experienced with the Super Bowl. One was a bench player. I'm going to have to say the Saints go to the Super Bowl. And then in the AFC,
What's your playoff predictions for the AFC?
for the AFC, I'm going to have to say I didn't fix anything in the AFC, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. How are the Jets in the hunt here? That makes no sense.
They're not.
They shouldn't be.
There's no way they're on.
Apparently they are. Anyways, I'm going to say the Texans are going to beat the Steelers, and then they're going to play the Ravens in the divisional.
Okay.
The Chiefs will play the Patriots in the divisional. The Ravens will beat the Texans in the divisional. The Ravens are going to the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots will play the Ravens in the conference championship.
Okay.
Am I correct on that? I think I got that correct, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think your
yeah.
predictions are
Okay.
acceptable.
Okay.
And then who do you have?
So it's Ravens, Patriots in the conference championship. I feel like Lamar Jackson, both quarterbacks have been exceptional this season. I feel like it's going to be the Ravens and the Saints in the Super Bowl. Two illustrious quarterbacks. I feel like the Saints. The Ravens will take it all in the Super Bowl.
Really? You believe that? I mean, I think it's good predictions.
Yeah.
I think they're fun.
I think they can snag it and take it for the first time since that one miraculous Joe Flacco season.
Yeah. That game really annoyed me.
The blackout game.
The Flacco game? Yeah. That was...
I actually wanted the 49ers to win that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because for that one season, I was a 49ers fan, and then that was the year Colin Kaepernick was actually a monster.
He was really good that year.
Yeah.
I remember that, actually. Do you?
Yes. A whole ton.
Like, literally, he was really, really good that year. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are our game picks. Don't get stuck with these. This is only what we think. I think the Ravens will make the Super Bowl, probably win it. I'm not completely stuck on this. Justin thinks that the Patriots, or actually will make the Super Bowl, but will lose to the Packers.
I hope, first off, I'm saying this partly because I believe that right now. However, I would like to say that I did believe the Chiefs were going to go to the Super Bowl last year until I saw the Patriots beat the Jets Week 17 when they put up like 50 points and they were offense fun and looked like they found themselves. So if New England can figure out their offense in the next 3 weeks, which currently I do not believe they will because they have too many problems, but if they can, I have New England winning it all. This is just off.
Yeah.
This is basically off what I see right now.
Yeah.
If they figure things out, if they just figure out their passing game, they figure out their running game, they can figure out their offensive line by week 17, by the playoffs, I have them winning it.
Okay.
So, that's my prediction. And are we done, or what do you want?
We will take a short break and we will do our game picks for week. What week are we in, actually?
Week 14.
We are in week 14. We will take a short break. This is 96.3 FM on Night Radio on the campus of Lynn University. This is The Last Down. Welcome back. 12:37 p.m. on 96.3 FM on night radio on the campus of Lynn University.
All right.
It is time for game picks in week 14. Actually, I can't believe it is actually week 14. The first game of this Sunday, Panthers and the Falcons. I have the Falcons in this one.
You do?
Yes. You?
I have the Falcons, too. Next game?
No, I said the Panthers.
Oh, you have the Panthers?
Yes.
Oh.
Then you have the Falcons?
Correct.
Okay. Ravens and the Bills. I have the Ravens on this one.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. I have the... I'll take the Ravens or the Bills. I'll take the Bills.
Okay. All right. Next game is the Bengals and the Browns. Some people are claiming this is probably just plain easy for the Browns.
What do you think?
I sadly have to go for the Browns on this one.
If the Browns lose this,
Then their season's over.
if the Browns lose to the Bengals,
It's like
God,
losing.
that's-
It's like
that's-
losing.
That would be the most. I would be so humiliated if I would wake up the day after so humiliated as a Browns player and as a Browns fan. Like, I would just get upset thinking about it.
I would be a bandwagoner if they lose. If I was a Browns fan.
Let's just.
What you said, we have to pick the Browns for this one.
What do you think? Do you think they're gonna win or lose the Browns?
I honestly think that
I honestly
versus.
I'm really tempted to pick the Bengals. The only reason why I'm not is because they've only won one game.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I don't want to pick them.
Yeah. I sadly have to go for the Browns, but I would laugh if they lose. Redskins and the Packers.
Yeah. What do you have?
The Packers on this one easily.
Okay.
Broncos and Texans in Houston. I'm going to have to go for the Texans on this one. I did talk about this earlier, and I said the Texans would actually win this game. But I do think Drew Lock is starting, so this might make it a little more difficult, but not that much for Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Up next is the Lions and the Vikings. Surprisingly, or not that surprising, the Vikings are undefeated at home this season.
Are they?
Yes.
I'm gonna take the Vikings. You?
Yes, I actually do think the Lions were going to be much better this season, but they are not because they're in that horrible losing
They're not
streak.
horrible. They're just mediocre.
Yes. And I would think this would be the game of the week, but it's actually not. The Niners and the Saints.
I'm taking the Saints.
Actually,
whoever wins this game is gonna be at a disadvantage in the playoffs. That's my opinion. So I'm gonna take the Saints.
is that real?
But I really think if the 49ers really put up a fight, I'm going to...
Drew Brees is 2-8 against 10 or more winning teams in his career.
It's possible.
I have to go for Niners.
Okay.
Jimmy G's can actually do something. And the Dolphins and the Jets. I really don't know because both teams are actually garbage this year.
Mm.
And the Dolphins, didn't they win like 2 in a row or something right now?
Probably.
I just want to be tempted to go for the Dolphins just to see if they can actually pull this off.
Yeah. What do you think?
I do want to go for the Dolphins. I really want to see if they can actually get 3 in a row. So I just want to go for the Dolphins on this one just for giggles. Colts and Buccaneers. What do you think?
I'll take the Colts.
Same here. Chargers and the Jaguars.
Chargers and the Jaguars?
Yes. Both are under 500, so it really doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm going to go for the Chargers.
Okay. I disagree. I think Chargers who? Sorry.
Chargers, Jags.
Yeah, I'm going to see the Chargers too, but again, I don't know.
And I think Gardner Minshew is actually starting. So he's going over Nick Foles.
They should win that.
Yeah. Steelers and the Cardinals.
What do you think?
I'm going to take the Steelers on this one. And the Cardinals are 0-6 against teams above 500 this season, so that's quite easy. The Steelers are actually going to probably win this.
They should.
Yep. And America's game of the week is the Chiefs and the Patriots.
Chiefs Patriots?
Yep, that's America's game of the week.
I'll take the Patriots. You're probably going to take the Chiefs, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there was no doubt about it that you would take the Patriots.
True.
Of course. Titans and the Raiders.
Titans and the Raiders?
Yes.
Titans and the Raiders. Good question. Who would I take there? I'm going to take the Raiders.
Okay. I'm going to take the Titans. I will disagree with you. I think the Titans might actually pull off something here. And Sunday Night Football is the Seahawks and the Rams. I think the Seahawks might actually blow out the Rams by a bunch here. Seahawks are 7-1 against NFC teams this season. I think they'll actually beat them probably by like 30-20 or something, or 30-13. What do you think? Seahawks or the Rams?
I think it's possible. I somewhat agree with you.
Okay. And Monday Night Football is the Giants and the Eagles.
Who do you have?
Literally, I don't know for this game. The Giants have always been as close as possible to play against the Eagles in the past 3 seasons, but they always come up short in the fourth quarter. But they just can't finish it off. I don't know. I want to leave this one alone because I know
you're unsure.
I know I want to say the Giants just because I'm a Giants fan, but I don't know because the Giants are always inconsistent when it comes to the fourth quarter in these games.
That they are. I completely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So who do you pick for this game? I know you're probably going to say the Eagles.
Giants and Eagles?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep, it's
probably
probably...
probably Philadelphia. What am I saying?
Yeah, probably Philadelphia.
Probably Philadelphia.
Yeah. I mean, if this would help their case to actually go to the playoffs, this is probably one of the games that they actually need.
Yeah. It is, and you're completely right, I believe.
Yeah.
I
mean, it doesn't mean sweeping the Giants. It means taking one of those games out of that series.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it just comes down to, do you really believe they could do that? And I currently do not.
Yeah.
I mean, do you?
For the Eagles,
mm-hmm.
I believe that they can probably split the series against the Giants, but also if they take one out of that series, it can actually help them get to the playoffs. I believe that would be the case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I lose faith in the Giants for the future, but this is just a very inconsistent year because they don't have a defensive line, they don't have an offensive line. At least they got an experience out of Daniel Jones to know what he can do.
Yeah, I agree.
But
with you,
it's just once again a bad year because there's no coverage and there's no defense, and they always blew it, or they actually always blow it whenever they score, and the defense fires back with letting the offense go, and receivers are 40 yards down the line and they look at them.
Mm. It's just,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's ridiculous, but that's what I think they have to go after the draft: offensive linemen and defensive linemen, and maybe some other people. But I don't know. What are you gonna do? Drop Aldrich Rosas and get someone else? Aldrich Rosas was nearly perfect last year as their kicker, and Aldrich Rosas is a little inconsistent this year. But I want to let him go.
I just think you guys have so much problems. That's the problem with the Giants, at least in my opinion.
One of them probably getting rid of the coach and getting a ginger.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's probably the key.
Just getting a ginger as your head coach, who looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy could dye his head.
Mm-hmm. Literally, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the show today. It is 12:48 p.m. on 96.3 Night Radio. I am Andrew Goldberg.
And I am Justin McCarthy.
We will probably see you, or hear you actually.
If we don't, have a great break, and we had a pleasure doing this show this year.
We will probably continue this through the playoffs to the Super Bowl. If we do not, it was a spectacular run with this show.
It was.
We really enjoyed it through, I think it was week 3, if I'm correct.
I believe you started at week 3.
I think it was week 3 we started the show,
we did.
And then we went all the way to week 14. What a absolute run. I really enjoyed this a lot. If we do continue this through the playoffs to the Super Bowl, we hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful Friday, and have a great rest of your day. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate.
Happy New Year as well.
And that too. Once again,
good luck for finals.
That too, if you're a
try
student.
Not to stress. That does not go any well. Just try not to stress and just try to just do a little bit each day.
That too.
Don't overwork yourself. That's like the last thing you want to do, where you feel like you're having like an anxiety attack. Just do a little bit. Just do a little bit today. Do a little bit tomorrow. Do a little bit the next day. Just plan it out so you're not overwhelmed like the day before the exam. Just study 30 minutes each day. It's not hard.
Inspiration from Mr. Justin McCarthy. I really enjoyed it. It made me cry.
Right.
Once again, this is 96.3 FM on Night Radio. We hope to see you next time.
Awesome.